Hello and welcome back. Once again, you've arrived. The coffee is fresh, hot, and piping. Indeed. There's steam coming from that cuppa. What is he doing? He's right over his keyboard. Poor QWERTY is shivering in fear. Hi, welcome back to the Comics Coffee Table. Yes, that's a Band-Aid on my nose. I'm all right. There's just something going on underneath it. I got a sense of humor. I was going to start the show off with a joke about Pika and me fighting, and because, me being Irish American, from, just all the stereotypes involved with that, especially about fighting. Like, look at the Notre Dame Fighting Irish mascot, for example. And Pikachu being a Pokemon. Known for fighting, so I thought I was gonna make a fight. So many oversensitivities. Just, there's domestic violence you'd be sussing out or interpreting, or just I don't want to go there. So seriously, I mean, just like I thought it would have been a funny bit to be like, Pika broke my nose. That like we were arguing over show notes. And, he got really mad at this time. And, I know. See, there's no winning. And how not to win? Well, don't play. Or how not to lose. But it's like, it's not about winning or losing. It's about comic books. And we have funny books. This show is about bagging, boarding, and reboxing my entire collection. And I noticed that my comic book collection could definitely use it all. And I'm so blessed to be tuned into a comic book community on YouTube that there's a buzz going on right now about proper husbandry about with your comic book collection and taking better care of it. I've changed my ways. I've rarely ever, if ever, used boards. I don't think I've started buying boards for the first time since high school, or around then, or before then, when I was in middle school and I was like at my most serious collecting. But I'm using these two books given to me by my parents last Christmas. This season is dedicated to my parents. Hi, Mom. Hi, Hoppy Poppy. I love you guys. This is the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide, the 52nd most current edition. This is the Overstreet Guide to Grading Comics, 6th edition, published 2021. These are magnificent pieces of information about the care and quality of our beloved hobby. And it's another level. It's just another level that I'm exposing myself to for the first time. Have you ever looked at your comic book collection and wondered how valuable is my collection worth? So I'm going to give myself a ballpark figure. One thing I do want to make clear is that I am not a professional grader. This show is for entertainment purposes only. And if you have any serious questions about the condition or quality of your floppies, then I advise you to stop, drop, giggle, and get yourself to your local comic book shop and ask the staff while you're there, and the owners. They are there to help you with those kind of questions, and they can point you in the best method possible. What we're doing here is educating ourselves and entertaining ourselves and filling just a few moments in our day. We're taking a break. We're leaving our problems over there. We're pulling up a chair to our coffee table. We're grabbing a cuppa. And we're going to hang out for a couple of minutes. Just once a day and enjoy this break. The coffee table was always where my friends would congregate. And we would just start gabbing. There would be like overfilled ashtrays and maybe like, pizza boxes. But you know what I mean. But there would be a stack of movies, a stack of music, and most definitely a stack of books, and stack of funny books. Look how I've been keeping these funny books. Gosh, outrageous. You're supposed to be changing these wraps every few years or something like that. Where are their boards? Yeah. We'll get to that in a moment. I'm looking at the. I'm reading. I am reading the show notes peek. Yes. Yeah. Let me see. No joke. I know. Okay, dokie. But one of the missions of this show, if you're just tuning in for the first time, the best things about comic books is that a good one is written for a new reader, and you should be able to jump right in at any time, and that's a good thing. And I am moving my long boxes, my storage boxes, to short boxes, and I'm buying bags. I also need. I know I need to be buying better bags, like my lights, for the really good stuff. These will do fine for a while. But I've been learning more and more about the different qualities of bags. They're different brands, of course. For every brand is a different quality, and then there are different kinds. We're just getting into this, aren't we? And then we have boards. And I was on a show recently, and someone asked me, what's the deal about acid-free boards? So we'll even talk about that a little bit later today, too. But yeah, I got some acid-free boards, and I got some bags, and I've got a whole bunch of funny books that desperately need to be loved. And while I'm doing it, while I'm rebagging and boarding, I'm checking out its value, and we're gonna learn how to grade. It's great because now I know what to look for when I'm looking at old comic books, instead of just forking over $15 at the con for a Bronze Age baby. I'm gonna be looking out for corners and staples and spines and stuff like that, and that's a good thing. It's a really good thing. And so yeah, let's get to it. And we're back, aren't we? Or did we ever leave in the first place? Saved by a clever edit. I mean, I've read the heck out of these funny books. I mean, but look at the spine. Look at the dings, the cracks in that spine. But it's held up remarkably well. Oh, look at that corner. Is that a ding? Hello, corner. Sorry about that, kids. Ooh, kind of a ding. Yeah. Oh, jeez. So I was wondering, how much is this one worth? How much is this one worth indeed? With the news that James Gunn released a couple of weeks ago about, and this apparently by June 2025 we're gonna have a Superman movie called Superman Legacy, and this was the image that they used when announcing it. So we're getting into the rebooted DC movie universe. Cool. Why not? It keeps going. That's why. That's the never-ending story, the never-ending fight. I mean, this will be the golden age of superhero comic book movie, of superhero movies, and then we're entering a silver age, of superhero movies. We can reason like that as well. And so this is All-Star Superman by Frank Quitely and Grant Morrison. This is one of the best Superman stories ever told. I've got them all 12. Wonderful, wonderful story. Non-canonical, set in its own little universe. Oh, each one of these has such beautiful, beautiful covers. I mean, it's publication. This is part of the reason why I love these magazines, that they're monthly publications. That there's a formatting to this. There's a graphic artist behind this. Not only behind the art and that's just content. Then comes the magazine itself, right? and the publishing of it, and the distribution of it, and the selling of it. And then comes us, the guest, the consumer, the customer, the fan, and the reader. I mean, you could go for any magazine like Cosmopolitan, Sports Illustrated. I loved Maxim. I had a subscription to Maxim in the 90s. I mean, jeez. It was the age of the man show. What do you want? Like, look at these beautiful covers. Look at this classic kind of Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen vibe, you know? And so this is non-canonical. It deals with the last year of Superman's life. It's this beautiful art. This is Superman number 6. This is where I feel like Legacy as a movie could really take off. We'll get to that. Then comes a dip into Bizarro World for a few issues. For at least 2 issues, we go to Bizarro World, where we're met by Bizarro World's Bizarro, Zibbarro, who is a handsome he's like the Superman in the Bizarro World. He's handsome, he's eloquent, but he's an emo. And he's kind of he just reminds me of Morrissey and Robert Smith of The Cure and that whole, brooding emo thing. And how men of a certain age, especially the writer himself, he all came from that. And then comes some Kryptonians. And then comes the end game. What's Superman's legacy? And the last issue, which has a punchline, and Lex Luthor has a punchline in a way. It's great because there's a theme of duplicating Superman's powers. It opens this beautiful 4 panels in what we would call the widescreen format. Now, these 4 panels, in my humble opinion, are iconic at this point. Now, this is a great ad, huh? Who doesn't love a little monkeying around? Game Boy Advance. Now, let's look at the indicia. The indicia colophone. Here we go. Beautiful. So I bought this in November of 2005 when it came out. I had, it was like my new golden age of a new golden age. No, for me, it was my modern age of comic books. I had just come back to comics in 2001. I had a roommate. I had broken up with a longtime girlfriend. I had moved in with a very dear friend of mine in this wonderful downtown Boston Back Bay flat. And we bought comics every week and read comics every week for a few years. And then the band broke up. And but we made up recently, and that's nice. And hi Dane, if you're watching, how you doing, man? But seriously, I mean, look at that. That's great. 4 panels, sequential art, telling the story. Look at that. That's not a wasted beat, not a wasted word. And then we turn the page into a giant 2-page splash. Boom! We covered so much ground, haven't we? Haven't we? Look at that beautiful Superman. That spit curl S on his hair. You know what I mean? That is like, I love the yellow belt. I love the red trunks. I love the yellow on the cape. That is just. And Superman's on a rescue mission to go rescue this probe that's exploring the sun. And what happens is that Superman is given a lethal dose of solar radiation. And it's all by Lex Luthor's plan. Lex Luthor has succeeded. He's killed Superman. And Superman has 1 year to live. What would you do? What would I do with such news? It could be a metaphor for terminal illness. It happens in life to people. I mean, God bless you if you've been touched by this. We all have the specter of this. But now Superman has 1 year. And what does he do with this year? And how does it end? Because the greatest ending for any Superman story always is, and Grant's done this a few times, and all this, the wonderful Superman he's written, to be continued. Seriously, it ends on a note of hope, which Superman is brimming with, and an aspiration, and kindness and compassion, but also a toughness. Standing up for oneself, and when you stand up for yourself, you can stand up for others. That's a message I got from Superman, that you're gifted, and don't use your gifts to shame people or hurt people. You know what I mean? Here we go. We're just going to double them up. And what are we going to do real quick here? Of course, we are going to go to the book. Let's go to the book. Pika does a wonderful job with show notes. And then we're going to talk about acid-free boards. I was like, I had an answer, and I think I was close, but I was wrong. I was kind of close. Okay. All-Star Superman. Do 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 do. Om Super Mantra. Can you feel the love? All right, this issue 1 at a 9.2 near mint would be worth $8. This floppy. Okay, this is definitely not a 9.2. No, this is a well-loved, well-read funny book that has stayed in pretty decent condition. There is a variant C by, or there's a variant by Neil Adams. Now that one is worth $25 at the 9.2 near mint. So if you've got that Neil Adams cover, issue 3 is also worth $8, and the rest of them are worth their $3 cover price. This is issue 3. And it's part of what Superman's doing is that he needs to leave a legacy. And part of it is, unfortunately, what he does is it's this wonderful, it starts off wonderfully. Because look at that, 5 widescreen panels. And I just want to share this with you. It's Superman, it's Lois's birthday. What are they? It's my superpowers, Lois, in liquid form. Happy birthday. For a whole day. Bring it on. This is wonderful because this is also based on some Silver Age Superman and, fighting over Lois. And this is this great solution. He's got a question. Lois's life is, truly in danger. And he's been answered the unanswerable question. What happens when one unstoppable force meets one immovable object? The entire basis, I'm getting goosebumps, of Lois and Clark's relationship. That's Clark. They surrender. Response acceptable. And then they go on they finish their date on the moon. I love this line. I can't smell the trees in Canada. Like, oh, my birthday gift is starting to wear off big time. I can't smell the trees in Canada. I can't see all that gorgeous radio anymore. The stars have stopped singing like they used to. Yeah, this is what it's like to be Superman. I mean, and this is what happens to Lex Luthor at the very end of this story. It's a wonderful, wonderful comic book use of character, if this is what they're truly doing at DC Comics, is hopefully going to make All-Star Superman into some kind of feature movie, then I'm all for it. I'm here for that. I really am. This is what, like, there is an animated version of All-Star Superman. It's pretty darn good. It sticks because it's hard to compress this huge story into like an hour and a half. Not even. I think those things are about 77 minutes or so. Yeah, that's got a good ding in that corner there. But you are well loved. Yeah, so you are, it's issue 3, and you are worth $8 at near mint, and you have spine cracks and corners make me happy. It's beautiful condition besides those two. I mean, yeah, just a little dimple there perhaps. Oh, the Budokai games, I love those. I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan. This is really time well spent. Superman, All-Star Superman. Awesome. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. We have been talking about comic books. And we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. And, yeah. There we go. I should have done this a while ago. Oh. No regrets, right? I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so very much for coming to the Comics Coffee Table. You have left your problems at the door. You've come down, you sat down for a few minutes, you had a cup of coffee, or a cup of anything you want. And we've had some comic book conversation for a couple of minutes in our day together. This is great. I'm so happy that we have this opportunity and that we can really just focus on what we love. You know, these imaginary stories. They're all imaginary. Aren't they all? Alrighty, thank you so very much. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. Please like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, then click that the subscribe button right now if you could. Put on those notifications. You will eventually learn how to tell time. Hey, it must be 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern. It's time to talk. It's time to take a break, and it's time to talk about comic books for a couple of minutes in a day. Now, I hope that you're clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them. And we will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye.